This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Well, as advertised, John Scalzi said it'll be cold today, and it happened yesterday afternoon, just like he said.
Yeah, it started getting colder as I was driving home. I was like, whoa, the temperature is dropping and dropping, and it is chilly out there this morning.
So kudos to you, John. You called it.
Well, thank you. You'll be hoping I'm wrong today, though. I think that's going to be true. It's another first alert weather day here on the Suncoast because of the cold temperatures that will be anticipated, not only this morning, with the wind chill factors making it feel like mid-20s, but afternoon temperatures as well. Not warming all that much. We'll be in the mid-50s this afternoon, which is about 20 degrees below where we normally would find ourselves. Let's look at the big maps here. 31 degrees in Wauchula, although an independent reporting station at Ona reports 28 degrees. 32 in Arcadia, Northport at 32, though Richard at his weather station in Northport reports 30 degrees. Inglewood at 35, Venice at 34, Sarasota at 32, just touching the freezing mark now. Bradenton at 31, but again, the feels like temperature in Sarasota is 27 degrees if you factor in the wind. Ouch. Bundle up, stay warm. It'll be cold throughout the afternoon. We'll give you forecast low temperatures coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. You'll see some slowdowns northbound on 301 around State Road 70. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south, we do have an issue there in the lower right corner of your screen. We'll click on that and see where Clark Road turns into fully fledged State Road 72. It's closed in Plantation, so we'll check on that throughout the morning for you in case that affects you. Farther south, mostly clear at 6:02 on your Thursday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, we could possibly see a government shutdown this weekend.
Democrats are strongly fighting for a deal for the Dreamers that is somehow connected. ABC's Megan Hughes has the latest from Washington.
With a potential government shutdown imminent, President Trump on Capitol Hill had little to say about an immigration deal. But elsewhere at the Capitol, tears and protests from some of the nearly 800,000 undocumented immigrants brought here as children, known as Dreamers. And the Republican leader Mitch McConnell pointed the finger directly at the president for why there was no deal.
I'm looking for something that President Trump supports. As soon as we figure out what he is for, then I would be convinced that we were not just spinning our wheels.
The president rejecting a bipartisan Senate proposal, calling it horrible and very, very weak. But a little over a week ago, Trump brought in cameras to witness him negotiating with Republicans and Democrats.
What about a clean DACA bill now, with a commitment that we go into a comprehensive immigration reform procedure?
I have no problem. I think that's basically what Dick is saying. We're going to come out with DACA.
Republicans talked him out of that. One sticking point, the border wall. Kelly telling Fox News that President Trump's campaign promises were not fully formed.
There's been an evolutionary process that this president has gone through as a campaign, and I pointed out to all of the members that were in the room that they all say things during the course of campaigns that may or may not be fully informed.
The deal on the table now would be a one-month funding measure that does not address immigration. If it does not pass, the government shutdown begins at midnight Friday. Megan Hughes, ABC News, Washington.
Well, lots of talk of a shutdown this week, but what does it actually mean for us as taxpayers? There are a few things. First of all, the IRS, they stopped processing tax returns for all you early birds out there, and you won't be able to get your questions answered. So if you want to start to file and you need a question answered, their offices won't be open. They won't be able to verify your income if you need that service for something. Social service will also be shut down, which means no one can apply for retirement during a shutdown. The National Park Service will close all their parks and historic sites. And then as far as federal employees go, all non-essential employees, federal employees here in Florida, they're going to be placed on furlough, meaning they won't be paid for the shutdown period.
Right, well, the
so
clock is ticking.
A lot of things affected with the shutdown.
We'll see what happens. The Department of Homeland Security will be blocking Haitians from temporary visas. Haiti is the latest to be removed from the temporary protected status program. Nearly 60,000 Haitians will face deportation if they don't leave by July of 2019. Belize is also being removed from the list of eligible countries whose immigrants can receive U.S. visas.
Oh, and this one didn't take long. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Michael Wolff's best-selling book, Fire and Fury, Inside the Trump White House, will be adapted into a TV series. The company Endeavor Content bought the film and TV rights in a multi-million-dollar deal this week. Now the search is on for a network to officially sign on to the project. Fire and Fury has been controversial since its release, painting a chaotic and unflattering picture of President Trump's first year in office. Now, for the latest on this story, your breaking news plus the up-to-the-minute first alert forecast. Very important today. All you have to do is head over to the App Store. You can find our app under WWSB, or you can check it out under My Suncoast.
An update from New York, where the man charged in that deadly Halloween terror attack could plead guilty if certain conditions are met. Our attorneys for this man, Sayfullo Saipov, suggest if prosecutors agree not to push for the death penalty, their client will plead guilty. Saipov is facing 22 charges, including several murder and attempted murder counts. He's accused of driving a rented pickup truck down a busy bike path near the World Trade Center. 8 people were killed, a dozen others injured on Halloween Day last year.
And according to officials in Nevada, the body of the Las Vegas shooter Stephen Paddock has been cremated. Paddock's next of kin will receive those remains, but no further details on that arrangement were disclosed. Paddock, of course, killed 58 people at the Route 91 Harvest Festival in Las Vegas back on October 1st before killing himself. Nearly 500 people were injured in that attack. It was the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history.
It is 6:06 right now and feels like 26 degrees out there. It's bad here, but worse, where icy conditions have made roads in parts of the south and east treacherous.
That's right. A winter storm has dumped snow yesterday all the way from the Florida Panhandle all the way up to Maine. It left bone-chilling and icy conditions. CNN's Andy Rose has the latest on when it's expected to thaw out.
Last night, EMS and NOPD responded to over 600 calls for service.
Ice and snow-covered roads blanketed the southeast Wednesday, causing cars to slide off roads and creating massive pileups.
I was coming down here about 10 miles an hour. When I got right there to get over in that lane to make a left turn, it must have hit a patch of ice and the back end spent around.
But you're okay?
Yes, sir.
In Louisiana, 3 people were killed in traffic accidents, and authorities are begging people to stay off the roads even when the accumulation stops.
Some bridges, however, still have substantial amounts of ice and water in many places that can potentially cause dangerous icing again tonight as temperatures drop below freezing.
Ice was such a problem in Houston, drivers on Interstate 69 had to turn around and drive in the opposite direction just to exit. And in Metro Atlanta, 260 crashes were reported Wednesday morning when drivers attempted to brave the snow-covered roads. Bitterly cold wind chills are expected to hang around through Thursday, which means there won't be much relief before then.
The state of emergency that was declared yesterday remains in effect until further notice. You have to go out, drive much slower, keep a lot of space between vehicles.
In Atlanta, I'm Andy Rose reporting.
Well, the cold is officially here, and schools all across the Suncoast are trying to brace parents and students and get them ready for those chilly temperatures as they head out the door and to the bus stops this morning.
It'll feel like 26 degrees out there. Let's go live to the bus depot in Osprey, and Marla Spence live in Sarasota County. Marla?
Good morning, Stephanie and Ray. You know, for you parents who are out there up and getting your child ready for school this morning, layers, layers, and layers is the message that school officials are urging and stressing to you guys this morning. Now, just in a few moments, these buses will be pulling off to pick up your kids at those near freezing bus stops. By making sure your kids put on layers, it'll also keep them warm on those buses that may not have central heat. We spoke to Mike Barber with the Manatee County School District. He tells us in Manatee County alone, hundreds of kids will be outdoors exposed to cold temperatures this morning as they head to school.
The funny thing about Florida is you know, it can be extremely cold in the morning and then it can get relatively warm. So you kind of have to be prepared for that.
In addition to layering up, it's also a good idea to send your kids off with a bottle of water. It is easy to become dehydrated or overheated when wearing layers of clothing. It's also recommended that you remind your kids that if they become too warm in the classroom, that they can take off those first few layers. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota County for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Marla. Some good tips out there. But you know what? Do you think it's cold here? Well, it's really cold elsewhere. Even thermometers can't keep up with the freezing temperatures in Russia's remote Yakutia region. It's about 7 hours away from Moscow, where even your eyelashes freeze. It hit minus 67 degrees in some areas there this week. Not surprising, it's known as the coldest inhabited region on Earth. In fact, it's so cold, they don't have bathrooms inside. They're almost all outhouses because the pipes would freeze too easily. Residents there, they often have to leave their cars running all day while they're at work so they don't freeze up. And then they live off a diet of primarily meat due to the fact that produce can't survive some of those freezing temps. So I think that makes it not so terrible here.
Happening around the state right now, state troopers will be equipped with the overdose antidote Narcan to save lives in the fight against the opioid epidemic. The life-saving drug can take just seconds to revive an overdose victim. So this week, FHP troopers on the East Coast began carrying Narcan. The drug will be given to troopers on the West Coast and other parts of the state by the end of January. Some of the highest overdose numbers in the state are in Manatee County. There's a new House bill in Tallahassee that would ban the governor and his cabinet from accepting political contributions while the legislature is in session. The bill would put the same fundraising restrictions on the statewide elected officials that are already on lawmakers. If they break the law, they could be charged with a felony. Governor Rick Scott raised about $1 million during last year's sessions. He may run for Senate. And Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam, who is running for governor, raised nearly $2 million.
And the House 72 district debate is now official. After weeks of declining to do so, Republican candidate James Buchanan has agreed to debate Democrat Margaret Good and Libertarian Allison Foxall right here on ABC 7. It's going to be the first time that all three of those candidates will appear together and answer some of those tough questions. A Herald Tribune political reporter says Buchanan may have committed to the debate because the race might be a little closer than originally thought. Now, that debate is scheduled for Tuesday, January the 30th, right here on ABC 7 at 7 o'clock.
And the big story right now is the weather outside your door. 34 degrees, John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed, with a wind chill factor, actually 32 now. Wind chill factor coming in at 24 degrees. So very cold. We've actually touched the freezing mark at the airport as far as far west as that. So pretty impressive cold out there. We'll talk about what it expects to be tonight coming up in a few.
Also ahead, first alert traffic and the latest on the Olympic abuse case.
That's right. It was some crazy moments yesterday. We're going to hear what happened in yesterday's dramatic testimony in court when we come back.
Here's a peek outside our window. Doesn't look too cold, but it is. 32 degrees, feels like the 20s. Bundle up. We'll have John's complete first alert forecast immediately after this break.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off
off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $219 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
It's a First Alert weather day here on the Suncoast. Our temperature now officially at the airport has dipped to freezing this hour. Dew point value coming in at 18. Areas to the east of the interstate, however, have seen freezing temperatures for about 3 hours. We'll probably see another couple of hours of freezing temperatures. So all told, 5-6 hours of freezing conditions east of the interstate in places, certainly in Hardee and DeSoto counties and areas well east of the interstate, are expected and will be happening this morning. So very chilly temperatures. Now the thing is that 32-degree air temperature in Sarasota does not factor in the feels like, the wind chill. You add in the winds and oh my goodness, talking about 24-degree feels like temperatures in places this morning. So bundle up in layers. Get yourself protected from the wind before you head outdoors because it is certainly a cold start to the morning. Wauchula at 31, Arcadia at 32, 31 in Mayaca, Lakewood Ranch at 32, Bradenton at 31. Longboat Key, a little warmer there, 37, 32 and freezing in Sarasota, 34 in Venice, 35 in Inglewood, and freezing in Northport as well. Independent reporting stations show places even colder than that with temperatures in the 20s. And Becky and Old Mayaca had some reported temperatures in Mayaca City coming in at around mid-20s this morning. So really cold. Much colder than average throughout the day today. By the time we hit 7 o'clock, we're looking at about maybe 34 degrees. We'll see temperatures at 12 p.m. at noontime, lunchtime, still possibly below the 50-degree mark. So very cold. We'll top it out only in the mid-50s. That's significantly cooler than average. Average would be, you know, in the low 70s, 71, 72. So very chilly indeed. Northport comes in at 34 tonight, 37 in Port Charlotte, 38 in Placido, Rotunda at 36, 36 in Inglewood, Mayaca at 33, 36 in Venice and Osprey. As you head further to the north, 36 in Sarasota, 34 Lakewood Ranch, 34 in Bradenton. What I'm showing you is that temperatures tonight will probably be above the freezing mark by about 4 or 5 degrees. So hopefully the freeze watch will not be put into place for tonight across our area. But if you have covered your plants, why not leave them on one more night just to be sure? Things do change, although I think we will be above freezing most everywhere tonight. Here's the situation on the model trends, which is nothing but good news. After tonight's nighttime low, and we'll call it about 36 in Sarasota, the temperatures continue to rise for nighttime lows till we're back to close to average as we get into the weekend and the beginning of next work week. So good news there. This little blip you see in the low temperature trends, that's a cold front coming our way Monday night into Tuesday, but it's not a terribly significant one, so that's good news. Across the region, high pressure builds in, and what that will do will be to kind of remove those brisk winds that we've been feeling. That'll occur later on tonight, and it should be a fairly still night tonight. So a first alert weather day because of those cold temperatures out there, again this afternoon, and a cold day, but at least sunny and dry, and then those cold nights tonight across the region, but at least no freezing temperatures, I don't think. North wind coming in about 10 to 15. A small craft advisory is still up throughout the day on our area waters and through the afternoon as well. Cold, 55 degrees for today. Tonight, again, cold, but probably a little bit warmer, coming in at about 36. Tomorrow, we'll call it cool, about 63 degrees, and significantly warmer. Then as we head into the weekend, we're back up to about average temperatures in the 70s, maybe even a little above average on Sunday. Front comes through Monday night and cools us off a tad for daytime high temperatures, but mostly because of cloud cover and a chance of rain, not so much because it's bringing any significantly colder air our way. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Take time to take a look at your first alert traffic at 6:20. Starting to see some congestion as you head into the city a little bit. Your normal slowdowns on the bridge, as well as some slowdowns on State Road 70. Now, of course, in North Sarasota County, Florida 72, the eastbound road is closed in Plantation. They do say there's an accident there. So if you're heading out on 72, the eastbound lane, that road is closed. Now, if you're heading to South Sarasota in that area, if you're heading to Punta Gorda or Port Charlotte, the roads are looking pretty good this morning.
Well, very emotional testimony yesterday in the USA Gymnastics abuse case.
That's right. Dozens of victims confronted Team USA doctor Larry Nassar with tears and anger. ABC's Lindsay Davis has the story.
Trembling and tearful.
And I have experienced flashback nightmares of the abuse.
On Tuesday, 28 women stared down their monster. Larry Nassar, the former USA Gymnastics team doctor, given another title on Tuesday by one of his victims who called him quite possibly the greatest sexual predator of all time.
Without my knowledge or consent, I had engaged in my first sexual experience by kindergarten.
Kyle Stevens was a family friend and later babysitter for Nassar and his family.
You used my body for 6 years for your own sexual gratification. That is unforgivable.
Just on Monday, one of the biggest names in USA Gymnastics, Simone Biles, said she too was abused by the former team doctor. More than 140 women have accused Nassar of sexual abuse, including gymnastics' brightest stars, Gabby Douglas, Michaela Maroney, and Allie Raceman, who says the blame isn't just on Nassar.
It's not something that any of us are excited and happy to share about. It's not something we want to think about, but USA Gymnastics is ignoring us.
At times, Nassar wiped away his own tears as he listened to victim after victim detail his years of sexual abuse and their subsequent loss of innocence and childhood.
But little girls don't stay little forever. They grow into strong women that return to destroy your world.
He's already going to jail for other charges, but this is certainly very emotional in that courtroom.
Yeah, some powerful moments that help, the healing process and closure for a lot of those gymnasts.
Yeah, hopefully therapeutic for them. Yeah. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Do you grind your teeth? Well, we've got a story for you.
So we're going to tell you about an unexpected new treatment for teeth grinding when we come back.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Around the neighborhood or around town, you'll feel good and look even better driving your new Fiat. For maximum performance, check out the all-new Fiat Spider. You'll flip over the superior handling and capability. Or follow roads less traveled in the Fiat 500X. So go big. Or go small. With prices starting as low as $13,999, you're sure to find a Fiat that fits your style during the Start Something New event, going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Every day we load fresh content onto our respective pages. Get a chance, like the page, and leave a note for us as well. We'll always write back to you.
That's right. And you know what? Florida has just won the recognition of the best state to retire to. I just found that out on our Facebook page.
I think we get that every few months.
I would say it's always the best state, period, no matter what.
Welcome back. It's 32 degrees, he said, outside right now.
Oh, man. There is new hope for people suffering from teeth grinding and jaw clenching.
As ABC's Adrian Bankert tells us, a new study found that Botox may help.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Botox for your teeth. The injection, commonly known for reducing wrinkles, can also be used to prevent damage in your mouth. A new study from Houston Methodist Hospital, published in Neurology and funded by the makers of Botox, Allergan Pharmaceuticals, looked at Botox injections as a treatment option in patients with symptomatic sleep bruxism, or teeth grinding.
Patients will grind their teeth at night, and sometimes this can result in significant dental damage.
The small study took 22 people, giving 13 of them Botox injections into their chewing and temporalis muscles in the jaw. The rest had placebo shots. 4 weeks later, those who received Botox on average reported fewer symptoms and less pain. The placebo group saw no changes. And coming up at 7 a.m., Dr. Jennifer Ashton weighs in live. With your GMA First Look, I'm Adrian Bankert, ABC News, New York.
This is my body of proof.
Proof of less joint pain.
And clear skin.
This is my body of proof that I can take on psoriatic arthritis.
With Humira.
Humira works by targeting and helping to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to both joint and skin symptoms. It's proven to help relieve pain, stop further joint damage, and clear skin in many adults. Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for psoriatic arthritis.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Want more proof? Ask your rheumatologist about Humira.
What's your body of proof?
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC filter hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Start the year off with big savings during the Start Something New event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Ram trucks, and for a limited time, you can take your new Ram 1500 home for as little as $19,999, or go big and step up to a new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $13,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Florida Studio Theater presents the 8-time Tony Award winner Once, held over by popular demand. Captivating and breathtaking, Once is an unforgettable story about going for your dreams and the power of music to connect us all. Critics are calling Once engaging and heartwarming, outstanding, and a flawless production. Audiences are calling it phenomenal and better than Broadway. Once must close January 19th. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting FloridaStudioTheater.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, the bitter cold is here. You're waking up to 32-degree weather, the coldest of the season, and we'll have team coverage.
And a popular hamburger chain is coming to the Suncoast. We're going to tell you where the Shake Shack is building its first restaurant here on the West Coast.
And new federal tax laws are causing Apple to move thousands of jobs and billions of taxes back to the U.S. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios. This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning. There is the picture from outside our studios, high above the Rosemary District. Might look peaceful, but it is cold, wind chill down in the 20s degree. We can feel it inside the studio here.
Yes, we can. It is a cold morning, Florida. Why is it so cold here? It's supposed to be like 70 degrees, right? This is Florida. It's so cold here.
Let's get to the man with the answers now. Here he is, folks. First alert meteorologist John Scalzi.
Finally, the guy whose thermometer always runs warm is comfortable.
It's cold in here, John.
I know it is. Cold everywhere. In fact, I just have to give a big shout out to all of our weather watchers out there. They are so instrumental in giving us that ground truth. It's so appreciated. Mark in Palmetto just phoned in with an update. He's got 28 degrees in Palmetto. Morgan Lee and Bradenton, 34 degrees. Our thermometer in Sarasota just touched the 32-degree mark, freezing. So weather outside is frightful. There's no doubt about it. Taking a look at some of the temperatures across the region, 31 Wauchula, 31 Mayaca, Arcadia at 32. So is freezing temperatures seen in Sarasota, Northport, Punta Gorda, Bradenton, Parrish, Longboat Key at 37. The feels like temperature is ranging from the teens in well inland areas to the mid-20s closer to the coast. So bundle up. Across the state, freezing temperatures. There may be news about some crop damage north where there's been certainly a hard freeze. But look at those wind chills. 24 right now in Sarasota. It is another first alert day on the Suncoast with temperatures only climbing into the mid-50s today, about 20 degrees below the average. So bundle up. No freezing temperatures tonight, though. We'll detail that forecast for you in just a second.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. No major delays right now in Manatee County. Put that heater on, defrost your windshields, though. You'll see there on Clark Road, a couple issues there. At eastbound, the road is closed at Plantation, so be aware of that. Little slowdown also at Beneva and Clark as well. South County all clear at 6:34 on your Thursday morning.
And of course, the top story this hour and really all day, the Suncoast is feeling the effects of chilly winter storm that is sweeping across the country. and it's only going to get colder.
Rick Adams talked to some local residents and visitors around downtown Sarasota.
This cold didn't stop people from going out and enjoying their Wednesday night. Layered clothing kept folks warm, and so did lit torches at a downtown Sarasota restaurant. Bobby Gornella's flight back home to Georgia was canceled, so he's on the Suncoast for another day. He tells us he's usually in short sleeves, but not today.
It's not like anything that you typically experience. It's really cold, but it's colder back home. It's about 18 degrees, my wife said, so it's actually a little bit warmer here.
Nasty weather up north forced cancellations and delays of at least a dozen flights at SRQ. The ticket counters at Delta and American Airlines were busy rebooking many passengers for flights on Thursday.
We saw the impacts on Atlanta at first, then it's moved on to Charlotte. We've had a couple cancellations in Charlotte, and then we had one to Boston.
Although it's not as cold as it is for our friends north of the Suncoast, the cold is still impacting a lot of folks here. Sarasota County fire officials tell us on days like this, they typically answer many more fire calls, mainly because of issues relating to space heaters and other items warming up the home.
We want to make sure people are aware that space heaters and so forth, you want to have a 3-foot area around them so that you don't have anything that can catch on fire. You also don't want to try and use your oven for a heater.
Reporting from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And for those who don't have a place to go during these frigid temperatures, the Salvation Army is opening its doors to provide meals and a place to sleep. The Salvation Army on 10th Street in Sarasota serves dinner every night around 5:30. They begin intakes around 6 and they continue taking in people until around 9. They also provide blankets, linen, and even clothes for those who stay there. Breakfast is also provided in the morning, and they open up their porch afterwards so people don't have to leave. Now, Chris Johnson, the director of the program services for the Salvation Army in Sarasota, says everyone who stays is grateful for the services they provide.
They're very grateful when they have the opportunity to come in. The beauty for us is that individuals who wouldn't normally come in will come in on a cold weather night, and it gives us the opportunity to connect with them and give them the opportunity to find housing.
Now they're going to be staying open until the cold temperatures and those wind chills die down.
Now also open this morning, Grace United Methodist Church in Venice and New Hope Community Church on South Biscayne Drive in Northport. Also in Manatee County, the Salvation Army is also open on 14th Street West in Bradenton.
Well, that cold is officially here, and schools all across the Suncoast are trying to brace parents and students, especially kids, as they're going to be heading out to those cold bus stops this morning.
It is cold out there, 32 degrees, feels like the 20s. Let's go now to the Sarasota County School Bus Depot. Should be a busy place right now. Here's Marla Spence in Osprey. Marla, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, guys. You know, it is cold out here this morning. Layers, layers, and layers is the message that school officials are stressing to you parents who are up and getting your kids ready to send them out to those bus stops this morning. We spoke to a Manatee County school official on yesterday, and they tell us about 16,000 kids are expected to walk or take the school bus this morning. Because of this, school officials are urging you parents watching to make sure your kids are dressed nice and warm before heading out to school. We spoke to Mike Barber with Manatee County School District, and he says layering up is the ideal way of sending your kids off to school.
A large proportion of our students do walk and ride to school. We have approximately 16,000 students that ride the bus to school every day. So, you know, that's a large percentage that are going to be out at bus stops and everything. And our high schools start at around 7:15 or 7:30 in the morning. So, you know, they're out awful early and it's going to be awful cold. So we want to make sure that they're aware and they're prepared.
One tip, don't overdress your kids this morning. You know, although it's cold outside, it will be warm inside that classroom. So being able to take off those first few layers will help your kids stay nice and cool in the classroom, and being able to put those layers back on will help them stay nice and warm outdoors. Reporting live in Sarasota County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right. Thank you, Marla.
Had a chance to wear her orange scarf today.
That is right. That is right.
Fashionable.
Very much. Very nice. Now, for the latest on this story, and you want to make sure you have this app to maintain and take a look at the temperatures all throughout the day. As John Scalzi said, it is a first alert weather day. All you have to do is head over to the App Store. You can find it under WWSB or My Suncoast.
Well, the cold may have caused this. A man found a 12-foot python under his dock on Siesta Key.
That's where it went. I have been looking for that all morning.
That was yours.
It was mine.
Joel Volpe found this. He used his pool net to scoop up the snake. Now, Florida Fish and Wildlife believes it was either released or escaped from its owner, and since the python is a conditional species, it is required for owners to report it missing right away.
And farmers at the Manatee County Fair are preparing their livestock for this cold weather. Dairy farmers made sure that the cattle had extra hay and water overnight as those temperatures dropped. Now, they say it's because the animals tend to eat a little bit more when it's cold. I completely relate to that. As for the animals at the petting zoo, the cold front is going to make some of the animals feel right at home.
We're from southeast Missouri, and right now it's 5 degrees and a foot of snow on the ground at home. My wife called yesterday, and but these animals come down last week. They're used to the cool weather, the cold weather, and you know 30 degrees is pretty comfortable for them.
Well, fair staff do expect attendance to drop a little bit with the temperatures, but they are confident that those numbers are going to be picking back up with this beautiful weekend that we've got straight ahead. In consumer news now, American Airlines is moving away from cash at its kiosks, starting today at airports like Miami International. The airline is no longer accepting cash, and they're even setting up ready stations at the airports that are going to be able to convert your cash to a Visa card, but not without charging you a $5 fee. Now, this is going to apply at all desk transactions, including check bags or overweight bag fees. Now, the airline says this new system will help speed up the check-in process and then help get passengers to their planes a little faster.
Well, first Amazon and now Apple looking to build a new headquarters in the U.S. They plan to add 20,000 jobs and $38 billion in taxes that was previously going overseas. New federal tax rules mean companies like Apple can no longer avoid paying taxes by holding the cash outside this country. They must pay the tax whether they bring the money in or not. Apple plans to decide where they'll build their new headquarters later on this year.
All right, heads up, burger lovers. Another popular chain is heading to the Suncoast. Shake Shack plans to open a restaurant east of the mall at UTC on University. It's going to be near the California Pizza Kitchen. It's going to be the first location on Florida's West Coast.
And even on bitter cold days,
right?
Milkshake still sounds good.
Yes, it does.
Good, even if it's cold this morning.
Exactly. Just a reminder, I've posted some new stuff on our website, mysuncoast.com, and on our weather app. You can take it with you as you head out the door. I'll have your forecast with you in a sec.
All right, still ahead, we've got your traffic as well, and we have the new guidelines for church parishioners.
We'll have the precautions from the Archdiocese when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to And we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Selfless service is the guiding principle of every Army National Guard soldier. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. To be an Army National Guard soldier is to serve something greater than yourself. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So this morning we are looking at a temperature that comes in at about 32 degrees. That's at the airport. Inland temperatures have been much cooler for a longer period of time. They're coming in really for last, since about 3 a.m. this morning, last almost 4 hours, coming in below that freezing mark. And certainly if you factor in the air temperature, the wind chills are even lower. They're coming in, with a feels like temperature of about 24, 23 degrees. As we head into the morning hours, we'll see that freeze warning be removed and the wind chill advisory removed as well. Forecast across the region, we're looking at 31 degrees in Parrish, Wauchula, Myakka, Bradenton, 32 in Sarasota, 34 in Venice and Inglewood, 32 in Northport. First alert weather calling for temperatures rising from the freezing mark up to about 47 by lunchtime. Still very cold and only topping out at about 20 degrees below the average at 53. It is a first alert weather day, although tonight will probably not be as cold. I don't think we'll see widespread areas of 3, 4, 5, 6 hours below freezing temperatures. That's not going to happen, but we will see some locations maybe touch the freezing mark for a very brief period of time. But at this point, a freeze watch or freeze even warning are not up for our area for tonight. 34 degrees in Northport, 37 degrees in Port Charlotte, Rotunda at 36 in Inglewood tonight, Myakka tonight at 33 degrees. We'll look for Venice coming in at about 36, so is Osprey and Sarasota, Bradenton at about 34, and Anna Maria, probably the warm spot, coming in at around 38 degrees, as will Longboat Key. The forecast for trend for the low temperatures over the next several nights show a significant rise as we head into the weekend. We'll be well above the freezing mark, even as early as Friday night into Saturday. And tomorrow, as I mentioned, I don't think we'll see any kind of widespread freezing temperatures. But it will still be very cold today and tonight, so we have about 2 more cold days on the Suncoast. The good news is this wind chill that we're feeling out there, making it feel like it's in the 20s, will start to become less of a factor in this afternoon's temperature because this high pressure ridge is going to scoot a little closer to the state of Florida. As it kind of centers itself over the state, our winds die down a little bit. There'll still be a small craft advisory up through the afternoon hours, though. Boaters, pay attention to that. But at least that little bite to the air will start to decrease due to the winds as we head into the afternoon. First alert weather day for cold, but it will be sunny and dry. And then tonight, cold, but most likely no freeze. The futurecast hour by hour shows pretty quiet conditions with lots of sunshine around. Same thing through the afternoon and evening hours. It'll be a starry night tonight, but expect those temperatures to fall pretty quickly after sunset because of the cloudless sky. And then tomorrow we'll watch the winds kind of shift a little bit more out of the east, and that will help to bring in a little bit more moisture, raise our dew points, and keep our nighttime lows warmer and our daytime highs warmer as well as we head into the weekend. North wind coming in at about 10 to 15 this afternoon, but as I mentioned, small craft advisories are still up. Here's your forecast. We're looking at daytime high temperature today, topping out at about 55. That's it, 20 degrees below average. Tonight, cooler, but still no freeze. Tomorrow, cool, 63, but we do start to warm as we head into the weekend. Monday, a front comes through with about a 20% chance of showers that lingers through Wednesday. Back to you.
All right now let's take a look at your first alert traffic. It is chilly out there today, but we're starting to see some slowdowns out there. If you're coming into the city, you're going to have your normal bridge slowdowns as well. Plus 301 is a little congested as well. Fruitville Road is also a little bit congested. That accident is cleared up on Clark Road, though, so that one's now clear. If you're heading into South Sarasota, you've got a little bit of a slowdown there on 41, but other than that, traffic is running pretty smooth at 6:49 this morning.
In this hour's Health Smart, peace be with you and also with you. Yeah. Nice. With the flu on the rise nationwide, the Catholic Church is telling parishioners not to worry about shaking hands during Mass right now. They also say don't worry about drinking the wine at communion or holding hands during the Our Father. The Catholic Church is urging the congregations to take precautions until all the flu and colds go away.
All right, and switching gears to entertainment, Ann Curry's much anticipated interview about her former Today Show colleague Matt Lauer. Nightline's Juju Chang sat down with her and got quite the emotional response.
I feel outraged. I feel empathy for the victims. And now, given that it's part of a broader movement across industries across this country, I feel real hope that change is coming. For the first time in my life, I actually have real hope that we will see a day when women will finally be unbound and unleashed upon the world.
Well, Curry is preparing to make her return to reporting in a new PBS documentary series, We'll Meet Again. Matt Damon is also apologizing for comments that he made on the varying degrees of sexual misconduct in Hollywood. He says looking back, he wishes he would have listened more before weighing in. Damon's an advocate for the Time's Up movement and feels that this change is necessary and important. And Saturday Night Live alum Kristen Wiig is returning to the small screen. She's going to star in a half-hour comedy series from Apple and Reese Witherspoon's production company, Hello Sunshine. The series is inspired by Curtis Sittenfield's upcoming short story, You Think It? I'll say it. The series is going to mark her very first regular TV role since her SNL days.
I watched
Kristen Wiig.
I watched her last night with Jerry Seinfeld in his Netflix series.
Yeah.
Coffee with Comedian.
Yeah.
She said she's nervous in life unless she's performing.
Yeah, she likes to be in character versus being funny as like a stand-up herself.
Otherwise, she's very shy. Yeah.
Yes.
Up next, your day's top local news headlines and exciting news for Disney's Animal Kingdom.
That's what we're going to tell you about their newest edition right after this.
Around the neighborhood or around town, you'll feel good and look even better driving your new Fiat. For maximum performance, check out the all-new Fiat Spider. You'll flip over the superior handling and capability. Or follow roads less traveled in the Fiat 500X. So go big or go small. With prices starting as low as $13,999, you're sure to find a Fiat that fits your style during the Start Something New event, going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Band Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity, When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease the all-new Subaru Impreza for just $185 a month, or get 0% financing and 0 down with complimentary maintenance included. That's right, not 1 penny down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
ABC 7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
Well, cold weather tops the news this morning. The temperature is in the 30s. It feels like the 20s on the Suncoast this morning.
That's right. Plus, check this out. A 12-foot python was discovered on Siesta Key. A homeowner discovered the reptile swimming underneath his dock, scooped it up with a pool net. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission believes it was either released or escaped from its owner.
Apple plans to bring thousands of jobs and billions of dollars back to the U.S. The announcement's after the nation's new tax code. John?
Well, I'll leave you with the temperatures across the region right now.
Do you have
It is
to?
yeah, sorry. It is cold out there, freezing in many locations. Mark in Palmetto has 28. Becky in Old Myakka, right, a normally colder place, has reported in with mid-20s. Morgan Lee and Bradenton, 34. Wind chills making it feel about 8 degrees colder than that. Things will warm up today, but it's still a first alert day because we only get into the mid-50s, about 20 degrees below average. Updates on our website.
Bundle up out there indeed. It's right now 32 degrees. We'll have more of John's forecast throughout the morning. Do stay warm. There's a pretty shot of the sunrise in progress.
That is right. And stick around because Good Morning America is coming at you straight ahead.